What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this latest round of Premier League predictions here on Anfield Agenda. This is a video that we added in the latter part of the season. Let's call it a teaser for next season. I'm going to go through all the Premier League games that are going to be taking place between Thursday and Monday, giving you my best guess at a scoreline. Feel free to play along in the comments section. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like on it. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to do it. There is a lot for me to go through here, so I'm not going to hang around. Let's get straight into the first game. Up first, we've got Nottingham Forest against Brentford. And look, it is a huge game for Forest. There's no denying that. They have one foot firmly in next season's Champions League, and they're going to want to make sure that they don't falter at the very tail end of the season. On the other side of the coin, we know that Brentford are no pushover. Visa and Ibrahimov being in absolutely fantastic form, and you're always going to have to work hard to beat a Thomas Frank team. That being said, though, I do only see this one going one way, and this is my prediction for it. I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest 2, Brentford 1. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that one. Next up, Manchester City against Wolves. City obviously have an FA Cup final to look ahead to, but they want to make sure they solidify their own place in the Champions League next season. Personally, I hope they get hit with a load of fines and relegated, but that's an argument for another day. For now, let's talk about this game. It is only going to be a home win, in my opinion. City want to make sure they keep the momentum going. They've been boosted a little bit this week by Rodri stepping up training, and I believe he's now taking part in full training. They think the Club World Cup is probably a more realistic time frame to him to maybe start coming back playing, but no doubt having him getting closer to fitness will provide Pep Guardiola's men with a boost. On the other side of the coin, well, we know that Wolves have moved away from the relegation zone, very far away from it, no chance of it happening at this point, and have been in good form. Matheus Cunha has returned. He's going to want to keep trying to perform to get himself that big move in the summer. But all of that being said, I can only see this game going one way, and that is with a victory for the home side by 2-0. Next game up is Aston Villa against Fulham. We know what difficult opponents Fulham are. Aston Villa are going to want to bounce back, from double disappointment. Obviously knocked out of the FA Cup semi-finals and the Champions League. They're going to want to make sure that they can at least push to get into the Champions League next season. Currently, they are an outsider's chance. They are a little bit further down the pecking order, but if they can keep picking up wins, I don't know why I've suddenly forgotten how to speak, by the way, but if they can keep picking up wins, you never know how this will shake up. Top 5 get you a Champions League spot, and Unai Emery will leave no stone unturned. But on the other side of it, we have a Fulham team who are playing really well themselves and still trying to push or make a late push for maybe the lesser European spots. So, taking all that into account, this is what I've gone for with the score in this one. A home win, 3-1. If you want score predictions, the only one I'm going to give you is Morgan Rogers, because I feel like he's scoring or assisting in every game at the moment. So, I'm going to go Aston Villa 3, Fulham 1. Next game up is Everton against Ipswich in, well, a very nothing game, really. Ipswich are relegated. That has been confirmed. Everton are safe and playing decent football under David Moyes. Obviously, they're looking ahead to the Bramley Moore Stadium and their new home from next season. They're going to want to win every home game they can to get a good send-off from Goodison. So, with that in mind, the scoreline I've gone for in this one is a narrow home victory by 2-1. Moving on now to another set of clubs who are, well, relegated. Leicester City against Southampton, 2 clubs who came back up and will be going straight back down. Again, both only playing here for pride and maybe to put themselves in future managers' thinking. So with this one, I have gone for a 1-1 draw. It could be 2-2, but I feel pretty comfortable that that one's going to be a draw. Let me know how wrong you think I am in the comment section, and feel free to play along as I mentioned and let me know your own scores. Next up is Arsenal against Bournemouth. Bournemouth, by the way, have had Evan Nielsen's red card overturned, which I feel is not much use to them now, right? They could have done with that and kept 11 men on the pitch while they were beating Manchester United. Dropping those points with that late goal from Manchester United does probably put a huge dent in their ambitions for European football. Arsenal, they have a 1-goal deficit, so I don't know, in the Champions League, I don't know how strong they're going to go in this one. This was a difficult one. Normally, I'd be siding with a home victory here, fairly straightforward, but if Arteta has any sense, he rests up as many players as possible. I don't think there's any chance that they're going to lose the grip on a Champions League spot this season, Arsenal. But I'm going for a Desmond here. I'm going for 2-2 because Arsenal, with not really too much focus on the Premier League, and Bournemouth probably going to want to make up for lost ground against United. So I do think they might get a point here. Any other time of the season, though, I would have gone for a home win. What have we got next? Brentford against Manchester United. So busy time for Brentford, as we mentioned. They play on Thursday as well. Manchester United, their focus, much like Spurs, much like Arsenal's, is going to be in European action. United will have this game sandwiched in between two semi-final legs of the Europa League, away against Athletic Club Bilbao and then back at Old Trafford. Brentford, well, they're difficult to beat at home at the best of times. They love an early goal. So in this one, I've ended up going for a scoreline of Brentford 2, Manchester United 0, because honestly, for United at this point in the league, doesn't really matter. It is just about trying to win the Europa League and get themselves qualification and the money that would come with Champions League football. Now we're moving on together. That's what I like to say here. So yeah, there's definitely been no speech problems in this video whatsoever. You didn't hear anything, so stop. In all honesty, Brighton against Newcastle. Very entertaining game is what I'm expecting here. Both of them want to push for European football. Newcastle obviously with one foot firmly in next season's Champions League, and deservedly so. They've already won the League Cup, so they've gotten the trophy drought out of the way, and I think this is going to be an entertaining game, but I am going for an away win by 3-1. I just think Newcastle will have too much, and the momentum will carry them into the Champions League. So again, another time of the season, I may have gone 2-2 on this one, but I do think with the time of the season that's in it, it's going to be an away victory. Let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree. West Ham against Spurs in a who needs a game, really. It was a London derby, but again, Ange Postecoglou's focus is going to be on the second leg of the Europa League tie against Bodo Glimt. West Ham, well, they're just going to want to keep picking up wins under new manager Graham Potter, who was a little bit tetchy last week, defending his record and the progression under his management. So, with this one, I've gone for a narrow home victory because I think Spurs are going to put out a very, very weakened side, and understandably so. Moving on now to a game which at any other time of the season would be a hugely important one for us. But the league title's already won. I'm not sure if you're aware of that one. And Chelsea will have to give us a guard of honour as well. They're in the hunt for Champions League football. They badly, badly need it. The pressure is on them. But I don't know what to expect of Liverpool. Will Arne Slot go strong? I would imagine the first game after winning the league with the guard of honour. He probably will. Will Chelsea have too much pressure on their shoulders? Will they capitulate? This has been a difficult one to predict, and I've gone back and forth with it. But ultimately, I've ended up going for a 2-2 draw, which I hope keeps Chelsea out of the Champions League next season, because I want to see what happens if they don't get Champions League football, because Todd Bowley is seemingly being free to make 42, 43 signings, spend 1.3 billion, and we keep getting told if he doesn't get Champions League football, something's going to happen. So let's hope they don't get Champions League football, right? Am I wrong? Chelsea fans? You're probably not watching. Why would you be? But then again, just know that I hope you don't get Champions League football. There you go. I said it. Much love, my friends. We will be back, of course, on Friday with a late night agenda. Hope you can join us for it. Do let me know your thoughts on my predictions and, of course, my absolutely perfect speech all the way through. Let me know in the comments if you paid that much attention or not. Much love, my friends. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.